Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 5 of What If Naruto Had Wood release. If you guys enjoy this What If, and want to see part 6 of it, comment down below, and let me know. Also check out previous parts of this What If. I have created a playlist for this What If, where you can find all the previous parts, link is in the description. And go ahead and check out other What Ifs in the channel. Before we start, please do support for more awesome content. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, and like this video, and share this video with your friends. So let's start this video. Genma, the proctor of the third exam, called the match to start, but Naruto and Neji never moved. Neither Genin even entered a fighting stance as the crowd looked on confused at the proceedings. Senju said, "It seems you picked correct and that we would face each other," said Neji with a stoic demeanor. Naruto looked at Neji as he cracked his knuckles. "I'm about to whoop your ass something serious, and while I'm doing it, remember that it's for Hinata-chan," said Naruto as he finally shifted into his stance. Neji twitched slightly at Naruto's words. He knew that Naruto was incredibly strong, but in his mind, he still believed he could defeat him. With his gentle fist, he could seal up Naruto's chakra points, and coast to an easy win. Neji settled into the opening stance of the famed Juken as he activated his Byakugan. Naruto placed his hands in the Ram seal as he channeled some chakra. "A clone jutsu," thought Naruto as around him, 8 Narutos appeared growing from the earth. Neji smirked. "You do realize that I can tell which one is you? Those clones are meaningless when your chakra isn't distributed evenly," said Neji as he saw Naruto laugh. "Just because you know which one is me, doesn't mean it'll make getting past them any easier," said Naruto as his 8 clones charged at Neji. 4 of his clones arrived first as they attacked Neji all at once. 2 struck from behind as 2 attacked from the front. Seeing the clones behind him, Neji performed a front flip over the 2 clones in front, evading all of the attacks. 2 clones were on Neji as he landed. They appeared flanking him on both sides, but he easily spun and slapped away their attempts to punch him. Once he finished spinning, another Naruto appeared and lashed out with an uppercut. Neji flew back into the air as he appeared to be struck by Naruto. However, it was actually evaded by Neji at the last second, with only inches to spare. Neji, having enough of dodging, decided to rid himself of the clones. So when another 4 Narutos surrounded him, he gracefully leaped into the air, and performed a spinning heel kick. The kick connected with all the Narutos as they crumbled into rocks from the powerful kicks. As soon as those 4 clones were destroyed, 2 more Narutos came rushing at Neji. Neji skillfully slapped away their attacks, and destroyed them with a double palm strike. The final 2 clones appeared as Neji turned, and finished them with a powerful open palm to their stomachs. "Too easy," said Neji until he noticed something on one of the Narutos when it crumbled to rocks. Neji held up a guard as he was rocked by an explosion. Neji was sent skidding backward as he had a few singe marks on him from the explosion. He placed an explosive node in that clone. "This is going to be difficult," thought Neji as he looked at Naruto. So the stories are true. The Byakugan does allow the user to see in a perfect 360. And he's fast enough to dodge all of the attacks. Seems I'll have to think of something. There has to be a weakness, I just need to find it, thought Naruto as he was cut from his musings when Neji spoke to him. "It'll take a lot more than that to defeat me. Like I said before, my eyes see everything," said Neji. Naruto folded his arms and stared at Neji with a bored expression. "And exactly what do you see with those eyes of yours?" "They allow me to see the truth of this world. Like how your skill is determined at birth. In other words, everything is predetermined when you're born." "Bullshit," said Naruto at Neji's claim. "I don't believe in any of that fate stuff. We create our own destiny in life," finished Naruto as he saw Neji smirk slightly. "Amusing coming from a person like you. You're the perfect example of what I'm speaking of. You hail from the legendary Senju clan of the forest. You're related to 3 of Konoha's greatest ninjas ever produced. So it comes as no surprise that you're incredibly strong. You were strong before you were even born," said Neji. Naruto got slightly angry at Neji's words. "Why do you think of people like that? I only speak the truth. You and I were fated to be stronger than the rest. That's why those imbeciles you faced, Lee and Hinata-sama, failed. They were predestined to fail no matter what. Everyone may be different, but we all have to walk the path that has been laid in front of us. The only fate common between everyone is death." "Are you done?" asked Naruto, tired of talking to Neji. Neji's eyebrow arched upward slightly in confusion. "What? As I said before, that fate stuff you're spilling out is complete bullshit. We make our own paths in life. I'm strong because I worked my ass off to get here, and I had great teachers. But I will agree with you this time, you will have to walk the path laid before you. That path created by me consisting of an ass whooping as I'm just getting started," said Naruto. Naruto created 15 clones this time, and like before had them rush at Neji. "Heh, clones again. You should know this won't work against me. I won't fall for that cheap trick again," said Neji as he began to defend the clone's onslaught. Neji was even dodging Naruto's kunai and shuriken, as he had taken to throwing them to keep Neji from destroying his clones. Neji had been dodging the clone's attacks and Naruto's projectiles efficiently until he was struck from behind with a kunai to his upper back. Wonder why he didn't dodge, thought Naruto as his kunai struck Neji in his right shoulder from behind. Neji pulled the kunai out of his back as he began to counterattack against the clones. 8 trigrams 64 palms, said Neji as he sped through attacks to get rid of the clones. With the blistering speed of his attacks, eventually Neji finished the clones. Neji then looked at the real Naruto standing a few feet away with a thoughtful expression. He hit me. Right in my blind spot. Though it could be seen as me not dodging in time, so I have nothing to worry about, as long as he doesn't figure it out. Thought Neji as he was beginning to get nervous. What if Naruto figured out his weakness? Finalist box. I thought the Byakugan allowed the user to see everything in a 360. How did Naruto hit him with that kunai? Asked Sasuke with his Sharingan activated. Sasuke knew Neji was fast enough to dodge it, so what was going on? Is there a blind spot to the Byakugan? Standing beside Sasuke, Shino, and Shikamaru were thinking the same thing. In the audience, he hit Neji, thought Tenten shocked. But how? Neji can see everything in a 360. Don't tell me he found out the weakness to the Byakugan, thought Hiashi frantically as he saw Neji get hit in the back. Hiashi then looked shocked to see Neji's attack. To think a branch member figured out how to do that move. Impressive. Kakashi-sensei, said Sakura as Kakashi moved his head slightly to show he was listening. Why doesn't Naruto use any of his jutsu? He's much stronger than this. Well, in a tournament like this, it's more of a marathon, not a sprint. Naruto's just thinking ahead, said Kakashi as he continued to quell Sakura's confusion. He's pacing himself. In a marathon, you don't jump out the gates full speed. You pace yourself and save your energy. Naruto would still have another match, maybe 2 if he continues to win. He doesn't want to go all out in this fight, if possible, as it could lead to a loss later. Sakura nodded as she understood completely. I think Naruto's using his clones differently than that, said Asuma as everyone looked quizzical besides Kakashi and Guy. Kurenai figured out what he meant and explained. He's testing Neji, while observing him from a distance. He's trying to find a weakness in that kunai that finally landed may have given him a clue. Everyone looked back at the fight as Neji had finished the clones. Kid's pretty good. He'll have my vote, thought Asuma thinking about Naruto. Back to the fight. Neji, not wanting Naruto to create more clones, rushed at Naruto with impressive speed. Neji attacked Naruto with a fast open palm to the stomach. Naruto looked shocked to see Neji move so quickly, and couldn't evade fast enough. He was struck hard in the gut by Neji as he felt the air leave him. Neji was surprised to see his attack hit so easily, but wasn't disappointed when Naruto converted to mud shortly afterwards, signaling replacement. Neji began to scan the area as he saw Naruto appear standing on the stadium wall. Neji then looked shocked as the mud from Naruto's replacement morphed into a huge dragon head. He wouldn't have enough time to dodge. This will hit him hard, thought Naruto. Naruto had performed a shunshin to appear on the stadium wall as he held the dragon seal. Earth style. Earth Dragon Bullet, said Naruto as the dragon head fired massive mud balls at Neji. Not enough time to get out of the way. Looks like I'll have to use that technique, thought Neji as he began to spin around at high speeds. Irritation, came the shout of Neji. Neji released a huge amount of chakra while spinning. Neji's spinning dome deflected the mud balls with ease as everyone looked shocked. In the audience, father, that was, started Hiashi's youngest daughter Hanabi, before she was cut off. Yes, that was one of the main branch's moves, said Hiashi as he thought. To think he figured both of those moves out by just watching them. Must make him a genius like none other. The boy is truly blessed with more ability than any other in the clan. Whoa, he just shrugged off Naruto's jutsu like it was nothing, said Sakura as she heard Tenten scoff. Of course he did. That move is Neji's perfect defense. Nothing gets past it. It'll be the reason Neji wins this fight, why he wins every fight, said Tenten, confident in her teammate's ability. Perfect defense? How's Naruto going to get past that, said Sakura as the other rookie Genin thought the same. Naruto v Neji. Neji stopped spinning once he noticed Naruto's jutsu end. He looked toward Naruto with a smirk. That was the most powerful defense. It is an absolute defense created by the Hyuga clan, even better than Garya's sand. It cannot be beaten. You should just give up now, said Neji. Naruto narrowed his eyes until he finally looked like he figured something out. You have a blind spot, said Naruto as all the Hyugas in the stadium looked shocked. Did he figure it out? Thought Neji in a panic. Naruto smirked slightly as he said, from your expression, it must mean I'm correct in my judgment. That means, this will hurt. Neji was panicking, scanning his surroundings for an attack. After a few moments, Neji saw Naruto appear behind him with his hands clasped together. Water style. Water bullet jutsu, thought Naruto as he fired off a huge water ball at Neji. Useless, said Neji as he performed another Kaiten. Upon stopping, Neji noticed Naruto was nowhere to be found. Neji immediately began to focus on his blind spot, trying to find Naruto. So engrossed with his blind spot, Neji didn't notice the ground beneath him crack slightly. Naruto came flying out of the ground with an uppercut. Neji felt the full impact of Naruto's punch to his chin as it lifted him off the ground. Neji's feet slightly got off the ground before his upward progress was halted by a sharp kick to his stomach. Neji was sent back as he landed on his back and slid a few more feet. As Neji was on his back, he looked up to see another water ball crashing down on top of him. I got tricked. I can barely move. I've only been hit 3 times. Are his attacks that strong? Thought Neji as he laid on the ground in pain and soaked from Naruto's jutsu. Naruto dusted himself off as he walked over to Neji. Neji was struggling to move as he said, "You were tricking me into believing that you had found a blind spot. Knowing that would make me scan my surroundings instead of focusing on the ground." "Bingo," said Naruto before he whispered, "I also know that you have that blind spot in the upper right portion of your back. The kunai that landed earlier only confirms it," finished Naruto as he prepared to finish off Neji. "I was planning to thoroughly beat you two within an inch of your life, but Hinata-chan asked me not to. So I have to ask, what's going on with your family? It's clearly got you to think about this fate stuff so hard. And I'm guessing it has to do with past events involving you and Hinata," asked Naruto as he looked at Neji's down position. "You're correct in your judgment, Senju-san," started Neji weakly as he was still in pain from Naruto's attacks. "In our family, we are separated into 2 groups. The main family and the branch family. Those in the branch family are meant to serve the main family with their lives. We are even branded to forever bear the mark of a servant. We are given a seal to ensure our servitude to the main family. You wouldn't know what it's like to have a seal define you." Naruto was shocked to see Neji stand up immediately. "You made a mistake. You're in my field of divination," said Neji as he took off towards Naruto. "2 palms," said Neji as he lashed out with 2 strikes. "Shit," thought Naruto as he evaded both strikes. 4 palms. Neji lashed out with 4 strikes even faster than the last 2. Naruto still dodged all the strikes as Neji continued. 8 palms. Naruto finally was struck in the shoulder by one of Neji's hits. 16 palms. Neji hit Naruto 4 times as his pace continued to pick up. 32 palms. 64 palms. Naruto was struck 14 more times. Naruto even got the finishing double palm to the stomach as he was sent to the ground. "Seems that I have prevailed. Not even the legendary Senju clan can defeat the Hyuga. Proctor, call the match." "He wouldn't be getting up," said Neji until he saw Naruto picking himself up. Naruto was covered in an orange aura of chakra as he stood up. "Well, that hurt," said Naruto as he looked completely unfazed by Neji's strikes. "Where is this chakra coming from?" thought Neji as he could have sworn he saw it swirl into a fox. Finalist box. "That's Bijuu chakra, is he a Jinchuriki?" thought Temari. Konkuro and Garia were thinking the same. They knew the feeling of chakra from a Jinchuriki as Garia was one as well. Shino and Shikamaru were trying to find out why Naruto's chakra was like that. Shino had sent a few bugs to figure out, but they died upon sucking up the chakra. What was going on with Naruto? Sasuke was the most shocked. "Naruto, what the hell are you?" thought Sasuke as he looked at Naruto's chakra with his Sharingan. "How powerful are you?" In the audience, "He's really in control of that power?" asked a random chunin. "Let's hope so, but I mean it looks like the rumor was true." "He seems in control," said another ninja as he watched Naruto. "Naruto? What is that? You never showed that before," thought Sakura about her teammate. "Naruto-kun," thought Hinata as she coughed slightly. She was still injured from her fight with Neji. "Holy hell. I can feel the alpha flying off of Naruto. What the hell is he?" thought Kiba as he felt Naruto's dominating presence. It just commanded obedience. How strong was he really? "Naruto v Neji, you shouldn't have let your guard down, Naruto. You'd have been finished had I not been here," said Kurama as he funneled chakra into Naruto's system to open his chakra points back up. "Thanks, Kurama. I owe you one. Though I might have been able to force it open with my chakra alone. Then again, it could have been made me lose a lot of chakra to try it with my own. Regardless, I was careless, and now I've shown off your chakra. Now I have to answer everyone's questions." "Troublesome," said Naruto back to Kurama in his head. "What is that chakra?" came the slightly scared voice of the normally stoic Neji. "Looks like I got careless," said Naruto as he still had that orange aura surrounding him. "You shut down my chakra for a second. Had it not been for me being a Jinchuriki, this fight would have been over." The stadium was silent at Naruto's announcement. Most of the stadium already knew about Naruto's status as their Jinchuriki. Naruto's friends were confused. They had never heard of the word Jinchuriki before. "Jinchuriki?" asked Neji. "Jinchuriki, the power of human sacrifice. It's a term that describes one who contains a Bijuu. To name a Bijuu, let's go with the Kyuubi," said Naruto as Neji was slowly getting the picture. "But it was said the 4th Hokage killed the Kyuubi. How could you be its Jinchuriki? It should be dead." "But I'm not, and your 4th Hokage is." "Kurama 1, 4th Hokage 0. Suck it," said Kurama in Naruto's head. Naruto had to suppress a laugh at Kurama's words as he explained how it's impossible to kill a Bijuu. Their coalesced energy given a form. If the fourth Hokage managed to kill the Kyuubi, it would just disperse, and eventually pop up again. Knowing that the fourth Hokage decided it best to seal the beast away, seal it into a boy who happened to be born on that day. That boy is me, said Naruto as he looked slightly dejected. So don't tell me that I don't know what it's like to have a seal placed on me that defines who I am. I've been judged since birth over something I have no control over, said Naruto as he rocketed toward Neji. Too fast, thought Neji as he resorted to another Kaiten. Naruto stopped before reaching the spinning dome as he smirked slightly. Naruto placed his hands in the boar, then tiger hand seal. Earth style. Swamp of the underworld, said Naruto. Neji's spinning halted as a thick swamp appeared underneath him. Neji began to sink slightly as the mud swallowed him up to his ankles. What? Said Neji until he was cut off by the sudden appearance of Naruto atop the mud beside him. Neji caught Naruto's punch and attempted to strike with a finger jab until Naruto caught his wrist. Due to Neji's hands being tied up, and his legs still sinking in the mud, he had no protection against Naruto's knee to his stomach. As Neji was bent over from the impact of Naruto's knee, he received a vicious kick to the side of the head. Naruto had done a spin kick to launch Neji out of the swamp. His attacks have gotten stronger, thought Neji, as he was laying on the ground in pain from Naruto's Kyuubi-enhanced blows. Naruto let his orange aura fade as he said, "This fight is over. I can withstand your Juken strikes, since I can just reopen my chakra points. And I can keep you from activating your absolute defense. Just give up before you get hurt more." Neji struggled to get up as he refused to give up. "This fight isn't over," said Neji, as he stumbled toward Naruto. Naruto shook his hand as he easily dodged Neji's attack. "You should know when to give up. You're fighting despite being totally outclassed and already injured. If this was a real fight, it would cost you dearly. These exams are about proving your Chunin material," said Naruto as he decked Neji with an elbow to the face. Neji was on the ground, laying on his back in pain, as Naruto continued. "By continuing to fight, it just shows you aren't ready for prime time." When Naruto finished speaking, he smashed a fist into Neji's gut. The ground around Neji cracked slightly as a small amount of blood flew from his mouth. Neji couldn't move a muscle as the pain was too much for him. Genma, having seen enough, decided to call the fight. "Shausa, Naruto Senju." Naruto looked up to the crowd as he waved to their cheers. "I should have known you were fated to win. You're Senju after all," said Neji weakly. Naruto looked toward Neji with red, slitted eyes. "I'm sick of this fate stuff. I'm not great, because I'm only blessed with natural talent. I've worked hard to get where I've gotten. And honestly, I'd rather be in the same class as Lee, cause he's not a coward. He doesn't give in to his fate. Just because he can only use taijutsu, doesn't mean he gave in to his fate of never being a great ninja. You, however, are a great ninja. Blessed with incredible talent, yet you don't let yourself fly due to your weak-ass views of the world." Finished Naruto as his eyes turned back to violet. Naruto went running out of the stadium, blowing kisses to the crowd. The medics arrived to take Neji away as Genma spoke to him for the first time. When captured birds grow wiser, they try to open their cage with their beaks. "They don't give up, because they want to fly again," said Genma as Neji was taken away. Kage box. The Kazekage sat next to the Hokage as they watched the fight. "Seems like you have two promising genin there, Hiruzen Dono. Especially that Senju boy, quite powerful even without using his Bijuu's chakra," said the Kazekage as Hiruzen smiled. "Indeed, Naruto-kun is. I believe he definitely showed skills worthy of a Chunin. And even though Neji is a strong ninja, I can't see him getting the nod for Chunin," said Hiruzen as he watched Naruto exit into the tunnel. "True. Very true. Well, let's watch the next match, shall we?" said the Kazekage as Hiruzen nodded. Arena floor. 5 minutes later, the crowd eventually calmed down, and they were ready for the next match. "Now on to match 2 of these finals. Will Kankuro and Garia come down?" started Genma until he was cut off. "By forfeit Proctor," said Kankuro as he received boos for his announcement. "Okay. Winner by forfeit, Garia," said Genma as he just went to the next match on the list. Match 3 of the finals. Will Shino Burame and Sasuke Uchiha make their way down? Sasuke and Shino made their way down to the arena floor. On the way down, Sasuke saw Naruto walking up. "Jinchuriki," said Sasuke as Naruto looked towards him. "Something like that," said Naruto as he and Sasuke looked at each other. Shino nodded to Naruto, but continued walking to let the two friends speak. Sasuke stared at Naruto for a few seconds until he smirked. "I'm still gonna beat you. Having that power won't help you from my onslaught." Naruto smiled slightly as he said, "We'll see. I still dance better than you," said Sasuke as he fist bumped Naruto, smiling as well. "Nice of you to hide your hand seals by having your back to me. I was certainly trying to copy a few to add to my arsenal." Naruto laughed slightly as he did keep his back to Sasuke during his fight to prevent that. "See you in the finals," said Naruto as he headed up to the finalist box. "Of course, you just better be ready for prime time," said Sasuke as he went down into the arena floor to fight. Finalists box. Naruto showed up in the finalists box a little later, as he looked around to see the other finalists stare at his arrival. Naruto looked apprehensive until Shikamaru smiled slightly. Troublesome, of course you have something like that. Don't worry, you're still Naruto. Being a Jinchuriki won't change that fact, said Shikamaru as he held out a fist to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he bumped fists with Shikamaru. He even saw Sakura and the rest of his friends looking at him with a smile. Seemed he was worrying over nothing. Arena floor. Sasuke and Shino were facing each other as Genma looked at both of them. Are both fighters ready? After a nod from both, Genma said, the third match of the Chunin exam finals. Hajime. As soon as Genma finished speaking, Sasuke had to sprint back to evade the bugs flying out of Shino's sleeves. Those bugs of his are going to be troublesome. Who's to say there isn't one already on me? And then again I could be looking at a clone in the first place. Thought Sasuke as he dodged again. Dodging once more, Sasuke had enough of the bugs and flew through several hand seals. Fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu, said Sasuke as he fired a huge fireball that tore off into Shino's bugs. However, Sasuke was in for a surprise as he saw Shino's bugs take the fireball and not burn to death. Shino then spoke as he explained. Sasuke-san, do you believe I wouldn't prepare for your jutsu? These bugs are fire resistant and as such, your fire jutsu is useless against them, said Shino as he sent another wave of bugs towards Sasuke. Sasuke had listened to Shino's explanation and wasn't surprised. Of course he'd have bugs like that. Now I need to find the real Shino. The one before me is a clone as genjutsu didn't work on him. Thought Sasuke as he dodged the bugs again. Sasuke, having enough of Shino hiding, decided to get rid of hiding spots. Rat, tiger, dog, ox, rabbit, tiger. Thought Sasuke as he went through those hand seals. Fire style. Phoenix Age Fire Annihilation, said Sasuke. Sasuke unleashed a dozen huge volleys of fire, almost comparable to 12 grand fireballs, into the trees. Upon contacting something, the fireballs exploded, creating a raging fire that blazed through the forest. In the audience, hot damn, said Kiba as he saw Sasuke's jutsu. That pretty much summed up everyone's collective thoughts. Kakashi only I smiled at his students. Troublesome, said Shikamaru as Naruto looked on with a smile at his friend. Arena floor. Shino came flying out of the forest to dodge Sasuke's impressive jutsu. I didn't think he had a jutsu of that scale. Thought Shino as he landed out in the open, away from the blazing forest fire. Sasuke never gave Shino a chance to do anything as he was already upon him. Sasuke threw a punch at Shino that connected with the bug user's face, and sent him skidding back. Shino, after getting punched a few feet away, looked up to see Sasuke in a stance identical to Rock Lee's. Seems he's using the strong fist. I'm not that good at taijutsu, and as such you would defeat me decisively in hand-to-hand combat. I need to keep him away. Thought Shino as the flames began to die down slightly. Not wanting Sasuke to attack him again, Shino let loose another barrage of bugs at Sasuke. The bugs flew at Sasuke in a spiraling motion. Spindle formation, said Shino. The jutsu was too fast and widespread as Sasuke was struck in the gut by Shino's bugs. Shino watched Sasuke as his bugs were slowly gathering around him. It's over, thought Shino until he noticed something was wrong. Genjutsu release. Shino broke the genjutsu placed on him by Sasuke as the Sasuke in front of him disappeared from view. Attempting to find Sasuke with his bugs, Shino was too late in pinpointing the Uchiha as he felt Sasuke kick him high into the air. While airborne, Sasuke appeared behind Shino using the shadow of the dancing leaf. It's over, said Sasuke as he planted several kicks into Shino's body that sent him crashing toward the ground. Just before Shino hit the ground, Sasuke planted another kick into his midsection. Lion's Barrage, said Sasuke. Shino lay prone on the ground as his bug seeped back into his body to run damage control. You almost had me there, Shino. Too bad, you may have won that fight, said Sasuke. Shasa, Sasuke Chiha, said Genma as the crowd lit up in cheers. Genma looked towards Sasuke as he said, you're lucky he looked at your eyes when you were being covered by his bugs. He would have never been placed in that genjutsu and you would have had your chakra drained. Those bugs were even draining you as you did that final move. You got lucky, kid. Sasuke deactivated his Sharingan as he turned away from Genma. Chen. A win's a win in my books, said Sasuke as Genma smirked. The kid was right. Kagebox. Konoha seems to produce great ninjas. Both of those kids were splendid. The bug boy had a great plan, and was well prepared for his opponent. He'll likely be promoted. And that Uchiha boy, what a splendid display of all three facets of a shinobi, said the Kazekage. Hiruzen looked on proudly at his two ninjas. Perhaps you're right, Kazekage Dono. Seems it's true, that the younger generation always surpasses the previous generation. Arena floor. 5 minutes later, after the crowd settled down and the fire was fully put out, Genma announced the next match. Match 4 of the finals. Will Shikamaru, Nara and Temari make their way down, said Genma as Temari made her way to the arena floor. Shikamaru tried to stay, but Naruto pushed him over the railing, so he'd get down there. After a few moments, Sasuke came into the finalist box as he smirked at Naruto. Seems you did improve over the month break. Finally got the jutsu down, I see, said Naruto upon seeing Sasuke. There's more where that came from. Just you wait. I'm more than prepared to face you. Even with your orange chakra, said Sasuke confidently as they watched the next match unfold. The match was pretty boring. Temari just kept swinging her fan at Shikamaru, who kept hiding, only firing his shadow at Temari at random intervals. The fight didn't get interesting until the very end as Shikamaru pulled out an elaborate plan to capture Temari. Arena floor, are you ever going to stop hiding, said Temari as she swung her fan once more. Shikamaru braced himself for the winds as he decided it was time. Shikamaru placed his hands in the rat hand seal as a shadow extended from the darkened area of the stadium, untouched by the sun. Temari jumped back to get out of the way of the shadow as it approached, growing farther due to the sun moving down slightly. Eventually, it stopped, and she stopped backflipping. Is that how far you can go now? Said Temari until she noticed another shadow appear at the end of Shikamaru's extended shadow. Temari looked up to see a parachuted shirt attached to a kunai. That shirt gave Shikamaru more shadow to use for his jutsu. Shit, thought Temari as she backpedaled a little more. Luckily the shadow stopped moving again as she smirked once again. Looks like that's as far as you can go, little boy. My turn, said Temari until a flash bomb dropped behind her. Boom. The flash bomb went off and Temari found out she couldn't move. Shadow possession jutsu, success, said Shikamaru as Temari looked shocked. Seeing Temari's face, Shikamaru decided to explain. Before I even extended my shadow the first time, I tossed up both my shirt and that flash bomb in the air. From that point, my calculations proved correct as you went exactly where I wanted you to go. All those other moves before were just to set you up for checkmate. The flash bomb made a huge shadow of you, and from there it was simple getting my jutsu to grab you. And now, said Shikamaru as he raised his hand, making Temari raise hers. He planned all of this out, what the hell is he? Thought Temari frantic as she closed her eyes in anticipation. I forfeit, said Shikamaru. What? Came the voice of Temari and even Ino in this stance. I'm done. All those times I used my jutsu made me run out of chakra. I can probably only hold you for another 10 seconds. And if I did win, I'd have to face someone as troublesome as Sasuke Uchiha, who knows exactly how to beat me as he did it in the academy. There'd be no point in me continuing in this tournament. I'm done. Finished Shikamaru as his shadow did dissipate after 10 seconds. Genma chuckled slightly. Nara clan members, oh well. Shasa Temari, said Genma as the crowd booed Shikamaru for his forfeit when he had won basically. In the audience, Lazarus, said Sasuke as Naruto chuckled. True that. But he did display enough to be a chunin. That's what we're here for anyway. Shika could care less about winning the tourney, said Naruto as he watched Shikamaru walk back up. True, but he basically said he was scared of me. Seems I already have people fearing the name, Sasuke Uchiha, said Sasuke smugly. Right, anywho, time for me to face Gaara. Don't let your jaw hang down too low when you see me defeat him, said Naruto as he vanished in a shunshin. Kage box, seems you might have 4 new chunins of Kage Dono. Impressive even though that boy quit, said the Kazekage. How right you are. Those 4 have shown the aptitude to become chunins of the leaf. I'm proud of them. Seems it's time to see your son fight finally, said Hiruzen as the intermission between the first round was over. This is the match I've wanted to see. Naruto Senju versus my Gaara. Sure to be an exciting affair, said the Kazekage. Hopefully Gaara kills that boy before he can be defeated. Just because Naruto-kun can use his Bijuu's chakra doesn't mean he can stop a Jinchuriki who can go farther in his transformations, thought the Kazekage. Arena floor. 5 minutes later, Genma stood on the arena floor as sand began to appear a few feet away from him. Gaara had arrived in a shunshin. Then in just a flash of yellow, Naruto appeared, opposite Gaara, in a shunshin as well. Kids fast, thought Genma as he prepared to start the semifinals. Are both fighters ready? Match 5 of the Chunin exam finals. Hajime, said Genma as the next round began. As soon as Genma started the match, Gaara-san seeped out of his gourd as he said, Mother wants your blood. Right. Well, why don't try to get it for her? Asked Naruto as he got into a ready stance. Gaara stood still as Naruto waited for him to make a move. Well then I'll come to you, said Naruto as he sprinted at Gaara. Naruto lashed out with a kick that was intercepted by Gaara's sand. Naruto placed his leg back down and had to evade as Gaara's sand chased him around. Gaara stood stoic with his arms crossed as he continued to send sand at Naruto. Naruto just kept evading the sand, but it never deterred Gaara one bit as he never relented. Naruto, having enough of dodging, decided to attack. Gaara watched as Naruto dodged his sand once more. Gaara was prepared to send another wave until a mop of yellow hair appeared. Naruto performed a shunshin to get close to Gaara. Hello, said Naruto as he planted a vicious punch to Gaara's face. Gaara's sand had no time to react as Gaara was sent a few feet back. Gaara's sand armor cracked slightly as he looked up at Naruto, who was standing in the same spot he once was. In the audience, on Naruto-kun came the voice of a new rival. Lee-san, said Sakura as Lee came hobbling in on crutches. Hello, Sakura-chan. Nice to see you, said Rock Lee as he watched Garz slowly get up. Naruto-kun knows, the taijutsu won't beat him. I used 5 gates, and it still wasn't enough, thought Lee. Kakashi looked on as he thought, wonder what Naruto will do to get past that defense. In the Kage booth, that boy is pretty fast. The way he just appears, especially with his golden blonde hair, reminds you of the 4th Hokage, doesn't it? Then he's a Jinchuriki who hails from the Senju clan. He could be a powerful asset one day, said the Kazekage as he looked at the fight. Orochimaru, do you think me senile? It's quite obvious that is you. But I shall banter back and forth with you to see what you plan. Thought Hiruzen as he replied to the Kazekage. Pout for you are. Though I believe he has more in store for us. Orochimaru looked at the Hokage as he said, you saying there's something more special to him than being the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Hiruzen only smiled as he returned his attention to the fight. Maybe. Only time will tell. Arena floor. Garz stood up as the cracked armor on his cheek repaired itself. Glad to see you fix your makeup, said Naruto as he saw Garz send another wave of sand. Not this again. Thought Naruto as he dodged again. Punching him a million times won't help as Rock Lee clearly proved that. I could use Kurama on him, but it's rather redundant to use the same power twice. Let's just go with plan A. Naruto dodged the sand once more as he pulled out a scroll. Naruto opened the scroll, and let it fall to the ground as he placed his hands in the ram seal. Naruto stomped on the scroll as he thought, water style, tearing torrent. From the scroll under Naruto's foot, a huge amount of water came splashing out of it, as it fired off toward Gar. Gar's wave of sand immediately rushed to defend Gar against Naruto's water. The water and sand clashed against each other for about a minute until Gar's sand finally held firm. Once the water died down, Gar sent another wave of sand at Naruto. However, Gar's sand had turned slightly muddy from Naruto's jutsu, and was rather difficult to manipulate like normal. Gotcha, said Naruto as he took off a guard again. Gar saw Naruto appear again, this time with the right cross incoming. Gar was lifted off the ground again from Naruto's punch, but before he could fly away, Naruto grabbed his foot. Naruto smiled a deadly grin as he spun Gar around, and hurled him into the sky at a rapid pace. As Gar was flying in midair, Naruto clapped his hands together and prepared another jutsu. Now time to drench that sand armor. Water style, water bullet jutsu, thought Naruto as he fired off a powerful ball of water toward Gar. Naruto's water ball smashed into Gar as his, now heavier, sand couldn't get there in time to defend him against it. Kage box. Damn that boy. Gar's sand absorbs water, making it less effective due to the added water weight. He's picking him apart. Seethed Orochimaru internally before he smirked unnoticeably. Perfect. Gar will transform, and then the invasion will start. Seems Naruto's doing quite well, said Hiruzen. Yes, it does seem that way. Using water to weigh down Gar's sand is ingenious. But it'll take more than that to stop Gar, said Orochimaru. Naruto-kun better put him down now before he begins to access his Bijuu's power. Naruto might have to use his wood release, if Gar can transform further than him. Thought Hiruzen as he eyed the match. In the audience, Kakashi, what the hell did you feed those 2 genins of yours, said Asuma, Team 10 sensei, as he placed a cigarette in his mouth. He had seen Sasuke's fight too, and both of them seemed unreal. Kakashi I smiled as he said, nothing. I did nothing. I gave them a few pointers here and there, but for the most part, that's all them. Kiba snorted. I bet he gives them steroids. I mean Sakura is a medic now, right? I bet she shoves a needle in their ass. Started Kiba before he was smacked by Sakura. Shut up dog boy, said Sakura as she calmed down and returned to watching Naruto. Everyone returned to the fight as they watched Naruto perform his next attack. Everyone gasped as even Asuma's cigarette fell from his mouth. Back to the fight. As Naruto was firing off his water bullet, he put his hands back in the ram seal. Clone jutsu. Thought Naruto as 2 clones rose from the ground beside him. The clones knew exactly what to do as they disappeared in a shunshin. Gar was soaking wet as he hung in the air after Naruto's jutsu. What makes him so strong? Is it because he's a Jinchuriki? Thought Gar as his sand was finally nearing him. Gar's sand was too slow as both clones made it to him first, and promptly gave him a bear hug. This'll hurt, said Naruto as he channeled some chakra. Boom. Both clones detonated, causing a huge explosion in midair. From the cloud caused by the explosion, rocks and a smoking figure came plummeting to the ground. Finalist box. Sasuke smirked as he saw Naruto's attack. Nice combo. But I can't forget about my part in this, thought Sasuke as he looked at Temari. Temari and Kankuro were shocked to see Gar get taken apart so easily by Naruto. Gar, shouted Temari. Did he kill him? Thought Temari frantically. Gar, thought Kankuro. Okay, I'm glad I didn't have to face Naruto. I'd rather face you Sasuke than get that, said Shikamaru as Sasuke scoffed internally. Naruto wouldn't know he said that, thought Sasuke as he turned his attention back to the fight. Naruto v Gar. Naruto walked over to the smoking figure lying prone in the grass. Upon reaching it, he realized something was wrong. A placement, said Naruto as he turned around to face the real Gar. Gar had left his sand armor behind and narrowly escaped the explosion. Gar was standing on the opposite side of the stadium with his hands in the tiger seal. Gar had a few singe marks on his clothes, but other than that was relatively fine. Seems he replaced himself at the last second with his sand armor. Must have been right as the clones got to him since he was still caught in that blast slightly. Thought Naruto as he saw Gar covering himself in the sand dome. As the sand dome was closing up around Gar, Naruto flung a kunai with an explosive note at Gar. Boom. As the smoke cleared from the kunai, Naruto noticed that it didn't accomplish anything. Naruto then looked up to see an eyeball appear in midair. Seems that sand is denser than the previous sand. It wouldn't be taken down by some water or an explosion. I'm sure he can still manipulate it like normal, so there's no point in attacking straight up. That eye is probably in the sky, to help him see outside of the dome. How to get past it? Thought Naruto until he heard Kurama in his head. Naruto. After Naruto mentally nodded to acknowledge, Kurama continued, that's the opening phase of Shikaku's Biju transformation. You won't get through that defense with power. But there is another way. After getting the plan from Kurama, Naruto clapped his hands together. Naruto burst with bright red chakra as he took on a one-tailed state. Here I come Gar, said Naruto. Wine style, great breakthrough, said Naruto as he channeled Kurama's chakra into the jutsu. A mighty gust of wind ripped through the stadium toward Gar, picking up dust and debris along the way, obscuring the view of the fight. Gar's sand dome held firm against the powerful winds and didn't even look phased. However, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. The people in the crowd scanned the area for Naruto, but it was like he vanished without a trace. After about a minute of nothing, Gar came sailing out of his own sand dome with a bloodied wound on his chest. As the dome crumbled apart, Naruto could be seen standing in the dome with a Kyuubi-enhanced claw outstretched. It was slightly covered in blood as his chakra shroud dispersed. Earth style, hiding like a mole jutsu, gotta love it. That dome protected you from everywhere besides down, said Naruto as the crowd looked on amazed. What is this warm liquid? Questioned Gar as he touched his chest. It is blood. My blood, shouted Gar as he began to stand. As he was standing, the gourd on his back began to surround his upper body. The gourd eventually merged completely as Gar was covered in sand across his entire left torso. He also had a large claw of sand appear over his left arm. Prove my existence, Naruto, shouted Gar as he leaped at Naruto with his claw outstretched. So that's the Chibi, said Naruto as Gar was approaching. In the audience, another Jinchuriki, shouted a civilian in the stands and people began to panic slightly. Oh no, Senju-sama's out there with him, said another civilian worried about the boy. Don't worry, Naruto's Biju is stronger. He'll have no trouble against him, said a Konoha Chunin as the people around him began to calm down slightly. You're right, however, Naruto's only shown a one-tailed Jinchuriki state. If he can't access more than that, then Gari will win. A full-powered Biju is better than a one-tailed Jinchuriki, thought Guy as he eyed Kakashi. Why is he so calm about this? His genin is in trouble. An Anbu was standing a little behind Kakashi and Guy. This Anbu was not a real one though, he was actually Kabuto in disguise. That boy is transforming here. This could be trouble, but why doesn't Orochimaru-sama want me to give the signal? Thought Kabuto as he was eyeing the Kage booth waiting. The Sand sibling sensei, Baki, was thinking the same. Gar is transformed already, this isn't good. We need to get him to the village, but I haven't seen this signal. What are we waiting for? Finalist box. Of course that guy's a Jinchuriki too, said Shikamaru as he watched the fight. Are you one as well, Sasuke? Questioned Shikamaru in jest. He was internally worried for Naruto, but figured Naruto knew when he was in over his head. Like I would need that power, said Sasuke arrogantly as he continued watching the fight with his Sharingan on. Wonder how Naruto's gonna beat him. Rock Lee pounded him, and he still got up. So what's Naruto going to do? Thought Sasuke as he eyed Naruto smashing into Gari with punches. Arena floor. After punching Gari a few times, Naruto kicked him into the wall violently with a roundhouse. Naruto took on an uninterested look at Gari's new tactics. Gar came out of the cracked wall as he saw Naruto's bored look. Gar got angry, just like everyone else. Stop ignoring me, said Gar as his sand covered him. Gar's entire torso, down to his knees, was covered in sand as a tail grew out of the back. Is that what Shikaku looks like? Asked Naruto as he watched Gar. More or less. He's basically in a one-tailed state, replied Kurama. Gar had several mouths open up along his body as he prepared a jutsu. Wine style, infinite sand cloud. Great breakthrough, said Gar as he let loose a sand cloud. In response, Naruto slammed his palms on the ground. Earth style, mud wall, said Naruto as a huge wall rose from the ground. The wall completely blocked the sandstorm. It's a shame, said Naruto from behind Gar. Gar received a powerful elbow to the back followed by a knee to the ribs. Naruto then smashed him in the head with an overhead kick. That kick sent Gar to the ground as Naruto grabbed his tail and flung him back into the wall. The same spot Gar had hit earlier. You had a defense that only the fastest could bypass, and the strongest could breach, and you traded for this. That's pitiful. Raw power only beats finesse in extreme quantities, and you don't have enough of it, said Naruto. Gaara looked at Naruto in pain. Why is he so strong? I haven't even touched him once. What makes him so strong? Said Gaara as his anger started to rise. You won't erase my existence, shouted Gaara as he began to channel more of Shukaku's chakra. Naruto noticed the chakra spike and realized what Gaara was planning. Naruto clasped his hand in the snake seal as he channeled his chakra. The walls of the stadium and the grounds began to crack slightly at Naruto's chakra output. Kurama knew Gaara was trying to go full Bidou mode, and it seemed Naruto did as well. When Kurama saw Naruto place his hands in the snake seal, he looked shocked. Naruto, are you about to? Yes, Kurama. If he transforms, he could hurt the civilians. It has to be done now, before he gets too difficult to put down, said Naruto as Kurama agreed. In the Kage booth, Gaara's transforming. Splendid, maybe he'll kill that boy, so I can be rid of him. Thought Orochimaru until he felt and saw Naruto's chakra. His chakra is so potent. And at that age, I don't even feel the Kyuubi, it's all him. And the feeling of his chakra. Don't tell me. Hiruzen smiled slightly as he felt Orochimaru's inner turmoil. Naruto-kun is about to shock the world, thought Hiruzen. Naruto v Gaara. Gaara was preparing to unleash Shukaku until huge branches sprang up from the ground and wrapped around him, restraining his arms and legs. Gaara looked shocked as the branches moved him off the wall into a circle. The circle was being created by emerging wooden pillars with spikes pointed at him. Gaara felt his chakra stop building, and was wondering what was going on as he struggled against the wooden binds. As Gaara was trying to break free, he noticed Naruto standing in front of him. Gaara looked up to see Naruto placing a palm on his forehead. I cannot let you harm the people in this stance, said Naruto with a serious glare. 10th Edict of Enlightenment, said Naruto as Gaara began to scream. The crowd watched in stunned silence as Gaara began to revert to normal. I was once told that true power comes from wanting to protect those precious to you. This village is precious to me and as such, I'll protect it no matter what, said Naruto as the sand around Gaara moved back into the gourd it was before. Gaara stopped screaming as he fell unconscious. It had taken a full minute of suppressing the Ichibi, but Naruto still smiled. It's over, said Naruto. Genma had lost the ever-present senbon in his mouth when he saw Naruto suppress a tailed beast. What the hell is this kid, thought Genma. In the audience, the crowd was still quiet over watching what Naruto just did. You've got to be kidding me, what the hell can Naruto not do? Questioned Kiba as everyone gaped at Naruto's display. Sakura found her voice as she said, Naruto has the same ability as the first Hokage. Would release, said Asuma, who dropped his second cigarette today due to Naruto. At that announcement, Ino looked up as she realized something. That's why Naruto loves coming to our shop. He's connected to nature. That's why the flowers always look better when he was around, thought Ino. How could this be possible? Asked a stunned Kurenai, teammates sensei. I looked toward Kakashi as he spoke. That's why you were never worried, you knew he could do that. Kakashi only smiled in response. Though he does paint a huge target on himself. But he had to stop Gaara from hurting the citizens, so it's justified. Thought Kakashi proud of his student. Kage Box. Orochimaru looked shocked at what Naruto just did. He has the wood release. That's what the monkey was saying about him having something more special than the Kyuubi. He could literally tame it. That boy is too powerful. I'll have to kill him. Thought Orochimaru as he couldn't hide his shock. Orochimaru calmed down as quick as he could. With Gaara out of the picture now, a big part of my invasion is ruined. It doesn't matter. I came here to kill Sarutobi-sensei, and that's what I'll do. The invasion is still on. Orochimaru signaled to Kabuto when to start the invasion as Hiruzen spoke to him. Seems the will of fire Hashirama-sama preached about really inherited itself in Naruto, said Hiruzen amused at Orochimaru's shock. Orochimaru seethed internally at Hiruzen's diction. Indeed it does. But revealing that power makes him a huge target, said Orochimaru as Hiruzen nodded. True, but I have faith that Naruto can handle it, said Hiruzen still smiling. You've grown up, so much Naruto-kun. Arena floor. Gaara lay motionless at Naruto's feet as the wood from Naruto's jutsu moved back into the ground. Genma-san, said Naruto as he waved at the proctor. Oh, right. Shas Naruto Senju, proclaimed Genma loudly. The crowd finally seemed to get over their silence as cheers erupted loudly. Naruto smiled and waved at the crowd as he walked back up to the finalist box. Finalist box. Naruto arrived back in the finalist box as he saw everyone staring at him. You kidding, right? Said Sasuke. What do you mean, Sasuke? Replied an amused Naruto. Forget it. I don't believe that happened, so it didn't happen. I need to get ready for my match anyway. I don't have time to wonder about Ukekai Genkai, said Sasuke trying to downplay Naruto's new power. While Naruto was rubbing it in Sasuke's face, Kankuro spoke to Temari. Just forfeit your match. The plan is ruined with Gaara being incapacitated. There's no reason to continue. Genma had just announced Sasuke and Temari's fight as Temari agreed with Kankuro. You're right. There's no need to go against the Uchiha. I'll just quit, said Temari before she heard Sasuke talk. Are you about to quit or something, fangirl? Said Sasuke with emphasis on the fangirl part. You probably are just like your confused sister did. Temari and Kankuro both looked ready to dish out divine punishment at Sasuke's remarks. Seeing that he hadn't gotten her to commit completely, Sasuke pushed the envelope further. Sasuke smirked as he said, figures as much. I mean, I'd quit too, if I was facing a man. Girls are weaker than boys anyway. And then you're from a crappy village like Suna. Weak girl in crappy village. You have no chance against an elite nin. I'm kicking his ass, said Temari, cutting off Sasuke as she blew him out of the finalist box. Kankuro nodded his head until he saw Naruto smiling at him. What are you smiling at? Asked Kankuro. Well, your sister just fell for it. I have suspicions about things and Sasuke's gonna help me get the answers. And who better than your sister to answer them? Asked Naruto as Kankuro looked stunned. They had just fallen for a trap. Kankuro wanted to tell Temari, but a chop to the back of the neck rendered him unconscious. Good night, said Naruto as he placed his hand back in his pocket and looked down at the fight. Arena floor. After being blown out of the finalist box, Sasuke backflipped in midair and landed on the ground gracefully. Temari rode her fan down as she still looked heated. Genma woke up as he asked, both fighters ready? A nod from Sasuke and a slam of her fan from Temari later, Genma started the match. Match 6 of the Chunin Exam Finals, Hajime. Temari wasted no time as she swung her fan at Sasuke again. Sasuke got struck by the wind as he flew back and hit the stadium wall. However, upon impact, he reverted into a log. Where did he get that log? He torched the whole forest earlier. Thought Temari, wondering how logs are always around. Temari dodged as several shuriken and kunai flew past her. She turned around to see Sasuke standing there still smirking. You arrogant piece of shit, shouted Temari as she sent another gust at Sasuke. Sasuke looked amused at the wind. Fire Beast Wind, said Sasuke as he held the tiger seal. Fire Style. Grand Fireball Jutsu, said Sasuke, as he blew out a huge fireball at Temari. Sasuke's fire seemed to gobble up Temari's wind as it continued toward her. Oh my, said Temari as all she could do was hide behind her fan. The fire blasted Temari as she stood behind her slightly melting fan. Eventually, the fire died down, and Temari could be seen behind her decimated fan. The fan was burnt in a few places and was too hot to the touch. It was utterly useless to her now. As she was fretting over her fan, Temari had to move her head to the right to dodge Sasuke's jab. Gotcha, said Sasuke as his jab turned into a hand that grabbed the back of Temari's head and brought them face to face. Shit, I looked into his eyes. Thought Temari as she found herself pinned down with stakes. Welcome, said Sasuke as he materialized in front of Temari. Now you're going to tell me about your plan to attack Konoha. Temari's eyes bulged out as she heard what Sasuke just said. It all made sense. That's why he egged me on to fight. So he could find out about the invasion. So you are planning an invasion, said Sasuke as Temari looked shocked. Yes, I can hear your thoughts and I can also tell if you're lying, so let's just get on with this. When's the invasion starting? Sasuke couldn't really hear Temari's thoughts, or tell if she's lying, but Temari didn't know that. Temari was content with keeping quiet until she felt the stakes dig deeper into her body. Temari screamed slightly as Sasuke said, please talk, they'll only go deeper if you don't. The stakes went a little deeper as Temari finally cracked. The invasion starts when the people began to go to sleep. That's the signal, said Temari. But, that's all I wanted. Now rest, said Sasuke as Temari fell unconscious. Sasuke had been staring at Temari for 3 minutes until she eventually fell asleep, and he let her fall face first in the dirt. Too easy, said Sasuke as he began to walk away. Shasa, Sasuke Chiha, said Genma as the medics took Temari away. She was out of chakra from her first match, and was facing a fire user. She should have just quit. I wonder, what was up with that genjutsu, thought Genma as he heard the crowd cheering at Sasuke's quick victory. Finalist box. Sasuke walked into the finalist box as he nodded at Naruto. You were right. It is an invasion, said Sasuke, as Shikamaru listened in. Figured as much. Villages don't send a Jinchuriki to another village unless something's going down. Plus Shino said he spotted several groups of Suna ninjas and Oto ninjas on his way in. We have to tell Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto as he and Sasuke left to the audience. Troublesome, said Shikamaru, overhearing the conversation and knowing he'd have to fight in the invasion, if it did indeed happen. In the audience, since there was a 30-minute intermission before the finals, everyone was waiting patiently for the Senju vs Uchiha finale. Sakura and Kakashi were overjoyed at the two other members of Team 7. It's pretty hard to make it to the finals. They were cut from their thoughts as Sasuke and Naruto arrived. Kakashi-sensei. There's an invasion planned, said Naruto. Before Kakashi could respond, an explosion rocked the Kage booth. As everyone's attention was focused on the booth, white feathers began to fall in front of their faces. Genjutsu, thought Naruto before he dispelled it. Upon releasing it, he noticed that several Suna ninja were surrounding him, and the rest of Team 7. Damn, I was too late, thought Naruto. Hey Sasuke, just in case we don't make it out of this alive, I just wanna say, I would've totally kicked your ass in that final match, said Naruto as he prepared to fight. HN, said Sasuke before he smirked, bet I defeat more. You're on, said Naruto as he and Sasuke charged into the group of ninjas around them. The invasion of Konoha had begun. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want a next part of this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification, and also check out the other videos that I have created, and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.